There's this saying that I've always hated. Don't judge a book by its cover. Now, obviously, I'm not saying you can judge a human being entirely off appearance. Maybe sometimes, but what I'm talking about is when it comes to entertainment, in games especially, where everything is based on what we see, that saying does not apply. It's kind of wild how we have to kind of call this out. But when it comes to video games, attractiveness matters. Like, a lot. Attractiveness decides whether your game lives or nosedives and crashes and burns never to be seen again. Because most players, in the 10 seconds of them looking at your game, before players even understand the game mechanics or what it's about, they're already judging the world based on its visual identity. It's just survival. For thousands of years, our brains had to decide in seconds. We evolved to process visual information instantly. And when games ignore this, players ignore the game. For some reason, this became controversial. I don't know when it started, when developers started prioritizing relatability over bold and aspirational designs. They stripped the game of the very charisma that drives the fandom. And we all know, these fandoms, they're the ones who sustains franchises. But to have a fandom, you need attraction. If attractiveness didn't matter, gacha games wouldn't be raking billions of dollars. We wouldn't have characters that stand the test of time, even decades later. And when I say attractiveness, I just don't mean hot characters. Attractiveness is a core design tool. It shapes characters, it shapes worlds, immersion, but most importantly, ambition. But let's take a step back. What the hell even is attractiveness? Well, it literally just means something that pulls you in.
Yes, mother. Yes, mother.
Yes, mother.
Something that might be visually compelling, magnetic, charismatic, or just something that's pleasing to the eyes, pleasing to the senses. You look at the characters that stood the test of time. Tifa, Cloud, Lara Croft, Leon Kennedy, 2B, who else? Dante, Kratos. They didn't become iconic by accident. They're highly stylized, visually strong, competent. Most importantly, they're just aspirational. Let's take someone like Guts, right? He's wielding this giant heap of iron. He has this towering presence. He's extremely jacked. And he looks almost impenetrable. Just looks unstoppable. Or let's look at one of the most cosplayed and collaborated character of all time. 2B, she embodies beauty, grace, style. She's kind of mysterious, but also really deadly. These characters embody what it means to be peak. And us humans, we're just neurologically wired to be attracted to these positive traits. And yeah, you could say they're unrealistic. Yeah, probably, but aspirational? Absolutely. And that's the point. We get proof of this on games like Concord and Highguard. Both of them suffered from these aesthetics. Instead of embracing iconic, larger-than-life heroic designs, they chose to go with rosters that resembles NPCs cosplaying as main characters. And in multiplayer games especially, characters are one of your biggest driving factors. And if players don't even want to look at them, there's no way you're gonna make people play as them, make fan art of them, let alone cosplay as them. Look, you know it's bad when one of the internet's oldest undefeated rule didn't even stand a chance. When a character lineup lacks a visual charisma, power fantasy, or just stylized appeal, players, they will never latch on. Just a quick exercise, right? You ask a 10-year-old boy, "Hey Billy, it's Halloween. Who do you want to be as? This guy or this guy?" 10 out of 10 times, he would pick this guy. Because that's just our nature. When you look at something and you can get inspired with it, and it's just pleasing to the eye, we form an attraction, an attachment. Let's take something like Marvel Rivals. I'll be honest, when I first saw this game's trailer, my initial reaction was, what the hell? Is this another Overwatch clone? I wasn't really vibing with it. But as the trailer went on, I saw Doctor Strange casting portals, Magic doing aerial combos, or Hulk clapping Loki. Someone like me who never really played Overwatch and doesn't even really play multiplayer games, I was like, wait, this might actually be cool. And so when that game came out, I was playing it. I was playing it hard, even if I wasn't really a target audience, because it just looks cool. It's cool to play as these heroes. And Marvel Rivals, Overwatch, both of these games have characters with a strong silhouette, instantly recognizable, stylized, exaggerated, and most importantly, marketable. And I say it again, before players even touch your game's mechanics, they have to be invested in the visual identity first. It has to spark an interest. And you might call it shallow, but that's just reality. And love this or hate it, but when it comes to designing character appeal, gacha games, they're masters at this. These games are free, to the point that without even spending $1, you could do everything that this game have to offer. You can literally beat the game. And yet, they get people to spend hundreds, sometimes thousands of hard-earned dollars just chasing one character. And not because they need them, because they want them. Because they're cool, because they're beautiful, because they look powerful. Players, they want the aesthetics. It's the reason why we have these skins, these transmogs or costumes. Attractiveness creates monetization. But attractiveness, again, it doesn't just apply to character designs either. Elden Ring, Anor Londo, there's a reason why people still remember these places, these locations. It's because the worlds are attractive and they're not even grounded to reality. They're not practical. They're not realistic, but they are beautiful. And that's the point. Games sell fantasy, and fantasy must be visually magnetic. If your world looks dull, immersion just breaks before gameplay even begins. And this applies to almost everything, even weapon design. You got the Buster Sword, Moonlight Great Swords, or other oversized fantasy blades. Absolutely ridiculous to look at and not practical? Yeah, but cool? Absolutely. Weapons aren't just tools in games, they're extensions of identity. Now, let's be clear, attractiveness doesn't automatically guarantee success, but you can guarantee that having a lack of attractiveness increases the chances that your game fails even before players touch the game. Because again, when players looks at a game and decide within seconds, do I even want to look at this? Do I want to be this? Do I want to play as this? Do I want to live in this world? If the answer is no to all of those, it's gonna be really hard to even get a second chance. Because aesthetics, they're the hook. It's the one that reels players in order for them to sink deeper into gameplay. Anyway, that's it for me. August here, signing off. Peace!